Hey, it's the Odd Man. I signed up for the 7048 and participated to some extent, but bailed out early. So I thought I'd do a quick video to show the parts that I did successfully and some lessons learned, as well as a trip to Blake Island. The 7048 is a long, difficult event, and I have essentially been preparing for it since last fall with preparation of the boat as well as upping my fitness game. Most of the preparation I've done, I've documented in the videos on this playlist. I'm in the final moments of packing the boat for the 7048. As you may know, I rode 60 miles a week and a half ago, so everything was in pretty good shape anyway. The day before the race, I started by charging all the batteries and packing all the food. To the start of the 7048, I launched the boat out at the Point Defiance boat ramp and rode the 5 miles into downtown Tacoma. Talk about good news. There's a guy walking down the dock handing out cookies his wife made. How fun is that? Cookies are always on my approved foods list. Wow, does this look like too many boats and too small an area to you? Not yet. Oops, sorry.
We're not even
If we don't lose any paint, it's going to be a miracle. I think everybody's blowing this way, so I'm running out of space over here.
Look at it.
I think you've got room to your left. I started the race at 7 p.m. with everyone else, rode around to Lisabuela Park, and got a little less than 3 hours sleep, and then continued on, stopping at Blake Island and ending at Fay Bainbridge State Park. From there, I reversed course and went down to Blake Island, hung out for a day, and then the following day, on Monday, I rode back to the Point Defiance boat ramp.
Usually, to steer a straight course, you sight something over the stern. How's Mount Rainier work for you? It's gonna be a full moon tonight.
Just getting dark. Moonlight on the water looks pretty cool. Tide rip coming up. I sure hope it's in my favor. Hey, this is my favor and it's sea lion approved. Saturday morning regatta. I heard him talking about it on the radio. It's going from Shoal Show to Blake Island. I shot a ton of video like this where there's really nothing going on. I saw a dolphin was trying to catch it. I saw a dolphin occasionally throughout the entire event, but never did get video. After I turned around at Bainbridge State Park, I headed back to Blake Island and spent all day Sunday there. I rode 12 hours today, more than 30 miles. And the weather was spectacularly nice the entire time, up until the last mile. Blake Island is kind of unique because it's accessible only by boat. It's rough and windy here. I'm pinned down for the day, but that's okay because I can sit around and eat snacks. Despite my inappropriate footwear, I think I'll walk out and at least take a look at that Cascadia Marine Trail campsite. There's a lot more going on down at this end of the park. Since Seattle is relatively close, you can take a water taxi over here, and they have salmon bakes at this Tillicum Village. One of the things that I dislike the most about abandoning something like this is second guessing yourself about whether you should have done it or whether you shouldn't have, all that sort of stuff. One good thing about the way I entered this row is that it makes it pretty easy to get back to my car. The whole event was a logistical nightmare because I didn't have any way to get from Port Townsend back to my car at Point Defiance. One of the ways to fail on these trips, of course, is inadequate fueling. So I'm a huge believer in stopping every hour and having snacks. The reality is that I almost never feel like eating when I'm exercising. I do it, I'm disciplined about it because I know I need to if I'm going to prevent that bonking. I had done a ton of exercise preparing for this event and then did a 60-mile row about a week and a half before it started. Based on that, I'm pretty sure my fitness was adequate, but there's some question about whether I had recovered adequately from that long row. My speeds on the 7048 were significantly slower than they were on that 60-mile row, so I don't know if the conditions were more adverse or whether my conditioning failed me. A large part of my failure to complete this event was due to poor planning. I had expected to get a big lift from the tides, and it never materialized. As a result of that, I had planned to stay at Lisa Abuelo, which was too short for the first evening. I should have rowed further to make the second day shorter. I also tried to avoid staying up all night. That turned out to be misguided because I only got 3 hours of sleep Friday night anyway, and the race had a large attrition rate, 57 out of the 131 teams, which was 43% quit, and virtually everyone that made it did it in one go due to the deterioration of the weather on Sunday. I think ultimately my inability to finish this event was due to a lack of willpower. I quit at Fay Bainbridge State Park and then rode 10 miles back here over 3 hours. And to roll forward up past Kingston and up to Hansville would have only been like a 5-hour row. Doing this trip the way I did it as a camping trip was a mistake. My advice would be, if you're going to do this, go all in and do it in one go. Ignore the tides and just keep rowing. Another successful sandy bottom adventure. Thank you for watching this video. This is the Odd Man, out.